Let's get into it. Channeling the spirit of Lord Jesus. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Jupiter Anderson, and today I just want you to remember that if you've been alive for 30 or 40, 50 years, you have that much indoctrination still in your mind. You have not released all of these beliefs that trigger these kind of reactions from your mind. So when you get that first burst of fear, know that it is the ego reacting to protect the body. That is its primary function. And it cannot do anything else. So you must be the one that decides to do something else. It cannot do anything else because it is completely associated and hooked in to the survival of the physical body. It has no choice. When your body dies, the ego dies with it. They are linked, but you are not. The higher you, the educated you, the you that has stepped out of the war, the you that is practicing forgiveness, the you that is feeling more connected, you are not linked with your body, and you are not linked to the ego unless you choose it. But you will always know the ego's reaction by the quick burst of adrenaline it gives you, the quick shot of fear that you feel. That is the ego's message to you. Pay attention. This is the ego at play here. So as your society begins to shift and change, as you hear news of new economic systems developing, so your digital currency messages are coming through first fast and furious now. The part of you that knows the old system, that is the ego. It knows how to handle paper, money, credit cards. It knows how to handle debit and credit. Where there was a time when that very much scared the ego, remember? These are things that your ego has become used to. There is a part of your mind now that is going to hear new information about the economy changing, and it's going to want to panic because it has no reference for that. It doesn't understand it. So your volatile reaction is always your clue that the ego has become very, very agitated and is going to now try and find information to keep it safe. But the ego never really feels safe. It's always on high alert. It's always looking for the scam artist, or the tree that's going to fall on your head, or the storm that's going to wreck your house, or the tide that's going to inundate your living accommodation. This is why when you tune into the systems that we repeatedly ask you not to tune into, that is why those systems are feeding you that information about the super high tide, about the storm that's killing people, about the missile testing, whatever it is constantly feeding information to you that is going to trigger the ego's reaction. What happens to you when your ego is triggered is that you could become dangerous. You look for things to keep you safe. You put up your defenses. You attack that which you might think that is going to add to the danger. And you seek to protect yourself. And in that protection, you unplug from love and you become separated more and more and go in deeper, deeper fear. That is why we keep nagging at you to turn your televisions off. That constant meal of fear is going to keep you down in that disconnected place. And those of you that have occasionally dipped your toes into the television and watched the news and felt that fear, in contrast to the peace that you have cultivated, you begin to see where you have shifted. You begin to see the intense pain, negative emotion, guilt, shame, fear, whatever form it comes up in you, is very, very powerful. It's very, very different in frequency from peace. And in that experience, you are getting a beautiful contrast between the frequencies which you are cultivating through these practices and the frequency that the system wants you to hold. Once again, we say, why does the system want you to hold that frequency? Well, because you are powerless then. You are in the ego's world. You're short-term thinking. You have no mental, emotional discipline. You're very volatile, quick to react, quick to attack, quick to shop, quick to eat, quick to buy a gun, quick to argue with someone. These are all things that keep the system that is at play in your world going. And that is why it looks so unattractive when you begin to look around the world through the lens of your mass media systems. Now, in your practices, we are asking you to spend time in nature. Stand with your feet in the lake. Go and sit in the woods on a bench. Commune with the leaves, the birds, the deer, yourself. Take naps. Listen to beautiful music. Get into your creativity, guys. These are the feeder tubes and through which these higher frequencies pump into your consciousness and lift you up, 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 away from this ego's backup field. And that is where we want you all to be, because the changes that are going to be transpiring around your world are significant. And you will see the fires in California, the hurricanes, the talk of financial shifts and changes, political shenanigans between children's battling with their war toys, all of these sorts of things. Now, if you pay attention to them as if they are the biggest threat, then you will feel that dip in frequency. You will feel that reactivity. You will be unplugged from your connection. Why? Because you fear the death of the body. And that is a true sign that you have dipped into the ego's world, because that is the ego's language. It will do anything to stay alive. It will do anything to keep the body going. Now, we are not suggested by going up into these higher frequencies that you are not going to survive. When you go up into these higher frequencies and you step above the battleground, you have the ability to calmly assess the information that you're getting from spirit, intuitional guidance, spirits, experience, creativity, guidance. All of that information comes into you from the higher place. And in that higher place, you get clearer guidance as to what is the next logical move for you in your spiritual consciousness evolution. That is where you are going to find it. You are not going to find it on television. You are not going to find it in fear. You are not going to find it in endlessly emoting about your feelings. This is something that we really want to touch on right now. Is intense and repetitive negative emotion means you are deeply immersed into the ego. The sign that you are not is that you are going to be calm. You are going to be peaceful, but you're not going to be as reactive. You are going to observe things happening and say, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out, because you're stepping above the battleground again. So watch your strong negative emotions, which is a potential right now, because any fear, belief, idea that's low in frequency that you have been acting on your whole life, that is going to begin to surface as shift and changes in your society escalate. Because you have been taught in your world to follow a plan, to get a 30-year mortgage, to save for retirement, to invest in things that are going to multiply financially 10, 15, 20 years down the road. And if you don't think of those as ego devices, they are ego devices, you guys. They are matters of the ego keeping yourself safe in an unsafe world. Those kinds of beliefs are going to come to the surface, and you might begin to panic about certain things like investment, the value of your home, your grandchildren's future, things like this. So know that in your forgiveness practices, in demonstrating your understanding of the laws of creation, which is that you are all connected and that the person in front of you causing you upset is revealing you something inside of yourself that you need to see, a fear, a judgment, a limitation, you need to see to evolve in forgiveness practice. You are demonstrating your understanding to that, and that applies to the world. So when you see a disaster, quote unquote, out in the world, understand that is the ego's playground. We're going to see things like that. That is the end physical result of a lot of fear, a lot of judgment, a lot of scarcity, a lot of control. And don't be surprised. Expect it. Not in the sense of the cynic, but expect it in the sense of the wise master who says, that is what the ego says. That is what the ego looks like. Let's just observe and send love and understand this is going to play out a little bit because of this evolutionary process that you're going through, where everything has been hidden is going to be revealed. And you are in the early stages of it right now. You are seeing it happening, and it is going to continue because of the structure of this time period, this timeline that you're in. Everything that's been kept in the dark secret is going to be revealed to you. And this is what we ask you to prepare for by continuing your studies, continuing your forgiveness practices, continuing your connection to nature, your standing barefoot on the earth, getting out there in the rays of the sun, connecting to the greater system of life force that is permeating this world that you experience as your reality. Now we use our words very carefully here, because if you really see this physical life as all there is, you will live in fear. You will see things dying. You will see things being consumed by predators. You will see murder on the street. You will see birth and you will see death, and it is all about the body. So there is a part of us that says, don't be too attached to the world. Enjoy your experience. Enjoy the interactions that you have with each other, the learning especially. But do not be physically attached to the world, and go out there and spread your love and help someone today, and believe in the power that you possess, because we all have the power and we all have the potential to be and become our greatest versions. You are an eternal aspect of God's mind. You must keep that in mind as the shifts and changes occur on your planet.